In this video, I'm gonna tell you the 3 things you need to plan for if your goal is to build muscle mass on a plant-based diet. And it's really important that you have these 3 things in place before you even start, because the lesson that you want is to put in a lot of energy and effort into a plan and then find yourself 6 months later with less than average results, wondering what would have happened if you would have done things properly. So the first thing you need to know is how many calories you're going to be eating. And this is gonna depend on your starting point and whether you need to pursue first a fat loss phase, a muscle gain phase, or a maintenance phase. Most people on earth need a fat loss phase or a couple of fat loss phases to start with. If you're one of those rare individuals who's very skinny and wants to put on weight from the get-go, then you can pursue a bulk or a muscle building phase. And by the end of the video, I'm gonna give you some resources so that you can do every single step that I explained today. So once you have decided your caloric intake, you gotta calculate how much protein you're going to be eating. And protein is king when it comes to body composition because your body needs protein to build muscle mass. If you're going to the gym and training really hard, you're gonna create little tears in your muscles. Then you go home, you rest, and with the protein intake and the calories, your body recovers, and then little by little, new tissue is built. So if you don't have the right amount of protein and the right amount of calories, you're not gonna recover properly, and your body's not going to make the amount of muscle it could make. That's why having your calories and your protein set from the get-go is incredibly important. And you probably already know that we like to follow a high protein diet because we've seen that is the most beneficial way of eating if you care about building muscle and improving your body composition. Next up, you calculate your carbs and your fats. In Jack Vegans, we like to do higher carb diets because carbs seem to be a little bit more beneficial for building muscle and for gym performance. So you can set your fats somewhere between 0.3 to 0.5 grams per pound of body weight, and then the rest of the calories are gonna come from carbohydrates. Remember, 1 gram of protein has 4 calories, 1 gram of carbs has 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. So knowing this, you're gonna divide the amount of calories left over after you've calculated your protein and your fats and fill up the rest of the calories with grams of carbohydrates. So now that you got your diet designed, you want to decide your activity levels. And it's important that you don't overdo this. You don't want to do crazy amounts of cardio or crazy amounts of activity because your body has limited resources to recover. And if you're doing a crazy amount of cardio, then your body is going to use a lot of those resources to recover from the cardio, and it's going to take away resources from building muscle. So you want the right amount to achieve the goal that we have, which could be fat loss, muscle gain, or maintaining. When it comes to cardio, we like to do low intensity cardio. And I start my clients at a very low number per week, around 80 minutes. And the goal is to maintain a heart rate of somewhere between 120 to 140 beats per minute. And when it comes to daily steps, that's also going to be very important to measure because that's also energy expenditure, and that's going to help you get into that calorie deficit. Most people need somewhere between 8,000 to 12,000 steps a day, but that number can vary depending on the individual and how that person is responding to the nutrition. So once you have the activity and the nutrition in place, you want to decide your workout plan. When you're deciding your plan, you want to know how many days per week you want to train, what body part you want to emphasize, and the equipment you have available. Based on the answer to those questions, you can distribute the volume of different muscle groups across a week. Most people need somewhere between 3 to 5 sessions per week, and that's also going to depend on your schedule and your lifestyle and what you're able to do. Finally, you got your whole phase planned out. Next step is collecting data, because we start with a plan and we got to see how our bodies respond to that plan. Based on the data we collect, we can make adjustments to the plan. The most important data to collect on a daily basis is your calorie intake, your protein intake, your carb intake, your fat intake, the amount of steps you do every day, the amount of cardio you do every day, and then that's gonna give you a weekly average. We're gonna average out all the numbers, and we're gonna have week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. Every single week, we're gonna compare weekly averages and see where the trend is going. Based on that trend, we will make adjustments. The adjustments could be lowering your calories, increasing your calories, lowering your step count, increasing your step count, increasing cardio or decreasing cardio, or even increasing the amount of days per week you're training. And that's basically how you design a plan. Now, I told you I was going to give you some really awesome resources, and if you check out the description, there are a couple of things that are going to help you nail your next phase. And one of those resources is a 7-day high protein vegan challenge. In that challenge, I'm going to help you figure out your fitness goal, figure out your calories, calculate your protein, and build a meal plan. So if you want to check out the challenge, look in the description and get access today.